Before Solomon ever asked for wisdom, he was born of a scandal, raised under prophecy, and shaped by a broken man chasing after God's heart. His story isn't just about a golden temple, or wise judgments, or riches beyond measure. It's the story of redemption, of rebellion, and of a request that shook the heavens. What does it take to become the wisest man who ever lived? Let's begin. Not at the throne, but in the shadows of sin and mercy. The story begins not with Solomon, but with his mother, Bathsheba, a woman whose name first appears on the pages of Scripture not in honor, but in heartbreak. One evening, King David, the giant slayer, the psalmist, the man after God's heart, saw her bathing, beautiful, unaware. And from that moment, the man who had slain Goliath fell to the enemy within. Adultery, deception, murder, all committed by the king anointed by God. Bathsheba became pregnant. David tried to cover it up. When her husband Uriah refused to play along, David arranged his death. Then came the prophet Nathan, with fire in his voice and God's truth on his tongue. "You are the man." The child died, but God did not leave the story there. Bathsheba bore another son, and David named him Solomon. And the Lord loved him. He even gave him another name, Jedediah, beloved of the Lord. Solomon grew up in a palace divided. He watched his father war against enemies abroad and chaos at home. David's sons were at war with each other. One raped his sister, another murdered in revenge, a third rebelled, Absalom, forcing David to flee his own city. And yet, Solomon stayed quiet. He watched, he learned, he understood. As David grew old, another son, Adonijah, declared himself king. But Bathsheba, bold and loyal, reminded David of his promise. And so, the prophet Zadok anointed Solomon. Oil poured, trumpets blew, and Israel's new king was crowned, not the oldest, not the strongest, but the one chosen by God. Though crowned, Solomon was young, and he knew it. He confessed to God, "I am but a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in." So he went to Gibeon to worship, and there God appeared, in a dream. "Ask, what shall I give you?" The God of creation, offering anything. Solomon's reply? "Give to your servant an understanding heart, to judge your people, to discern between good and evil." He didn't ask for riches, or revenge, or long life. He asked for wisdom, and God was pleased. "I have given you a wise and understanding heart, such as none before you has had, and none after shall." 1 Kings 3:12. Not long after that wisdom was tested, two women stood before the king, both claiming the same child. One child, two mothers, no witnesses. The court held its breath, and Solomon said, "Bring me a sword." 1 Kings 3:24. The people gasped, "Divide the child in two, give half to each." 1 Kings 3:25. One woman cried out, "No, give her the child, spare his life." The other said coldly, "Let him be neither mine nor hers. Divide him." And Solomon declared, "Give the child to the first woman. She is the mother." 1 Kings 3:27. The court erupted in awe. They saw not just wisdom, but divine discernment, and the fear of the Lord fell on the people. Solomon knew his father's deepest longing, to build a house for the Lord. But God had told David, "You shall not build a house for my name, because you have been a man of war and have shed blood." So the son fulfilled the father's dream. For 7 years Solomon built, with cedar from Lebanon, gold without measure, and stone cut in silence. When the temple was complete, the priests brought in the Ark of the Covenant, and then the glory of the Lord filled the house, a cloud so thick they could not stand to minister. And Solomon stood, hands lifted, praying not just for his day, but for generations to come. Far across deserts and kingdoms, the Queen of Sheba heard of Solomon's fame. She came not just with gold and spices, but with riddles. "They say your wisdom is great, O king. Let me test it." And she did. Riddles, questions, mysteries. Solomon answered each one. Then she saw his court, his servants, his palace, and above all, the temple of the Lord. And she said, "The half was not told me. Your wisdom and prosperity exceed the fame I heard." She praised his God and left in awe. But even the wisest man can fall. Solomon loved many foreign women, and they turned his heart to idols. He built altars to foreign gods, Chemosh, Moloch, Ashtoreth, and the Lord was angry. "Since you have not kept my covenant, I will tear the kingdom from you." Yet for the sake of David, God spared Solomon, but warned the split would come after his death. In the end, Solomon wrote not of thrones or treasures, but of vanity. "Vanity of vanities," he wrote. "All is vanity." Ecclesiastes 1:2. He searched for meaning in wealth, in laughter, in work, but all of it empty. Until this final truth: fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Solomon's life began in scandal, rose in glory, faltered in compromise, and ended in reflection. He reminds us that wisdom is not perfection, but direction, and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Now it's your turn. If God came to you tonight and said, "Ask, what shall I give you?" what would you say? Would you ask for wisdom like Solomon, or something else? Whatever your answer, write it in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And if this story stirred something in your spirit, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to remember that true wisdom begins with the fear of the Lord. Until next time, walk wisely and choose well.